we're going to talk about anime.
Nerdcast.
Welcome back to the FME podcast, Nerdcast edition. I'm joined with George, and I'm Santino as always, and...
Salud.
Cheers. That was pretty good.
I love it, man.
That's really good stuff, man.
Makes you want to drink the whole bottle, right? Just drink it out of the bottle. Just joking. Don't do that. You get too crazy.
Now that you mention it, no.
Can you imagine drinking that whole bottle?
I mean, I drank most of a Red Label in one day, but...
I don't know. I've never had the Red Label.
It starts out awful.
Is it like a whiskey or something, or what?
It is. I'll tell you exactly in 1 second. It's a blended Scotch whiskey. Want to try some of this?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I haven't never really been good with whiskey, or Jameson has just got over there. Even on the rocks, like I tried drinking it, just something I haven't got into it. I don't know.
I don't remember what I tried first, but I just like one day I was like, yeah, whiskey sounds good, and sometimes it's pretty good, and sometimes it gets better.
I mean, what got you into the any whiskey? I guess we should start out with like what gets you into alcohol in the beginning, anyways.
I mean, what gets anybody into alcohol? Someone's like, here's a drink, and you're like, yeah. I didn't drink for the longest time because my biological father was like really, really alcoholic. My mom, she raised me as a single mother. She's like, hey, don't drink alcohol or whatever because he did all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that's terrible. I don't want to drink alcohol. Come to my 21st birthday, much later than most people start drinking.
Yeah.
And my uncle, he's like, hey, just have something. Okay, this is nice. But that didn't really get me into drinking. What got me into drinking was an old guitarist I used to play with. I think he plays in a band called Dirt Over Lime right now. It might be something different. He's like, hey man, just drink some Heineken. Cool. I got to the fucking neck, like the bottleneck, and I was like, man, this is great. Yeah, like I was
Heineken.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What got you into alcohol?
Oh man, dude. I guess when I started drinking, I know it was in high school because I felt like I was a goody two shoes when I was in high school. I mean, I was quiet, didn't talk to nobody. I wouldn't even do any of this kind of stuff. And like, what? No, I don't want to do that. But
this is weird. Let's shut it down.
Right? Yeah, I would be too nervous already. I don't know. I was just too shy about doing anything. But I was always following rules back in the day. So I was like, but my buddies, they were in high school and they were drinking way before. It's crazy to me how long they've been drinking. So I didn't really start drinking until I hung out with them. And I was still in high school. So I want to say it was like probably my junior, senior. I did have alcohol. But I mean, sure enough, I am Hispanic. So, like Mexicans always have beer lying around. So my dad did have alcohol. Whenever we went to Rocky Point, at one point in time, me and my brother, he's like, we wanted to drink so you can drink in Mexico. I'm pretty sure you remember when
Rocky Point, I heard about
talking
that.
about you can drink in Mexico. There's no age limit.
I remember like some high school kids, or not even high school, I want to say like middle school kids, like one guy just disappeared. He just kept hearing Rocky Point. He had to have stomach pumps and all this shit.
Wow. That's great. See, I didn't get that bad. It was just more like I've had beer when I was younger. Yeah, I was like super minor age, whatever. I've had it, but it deterred me from wanting to drink because it tastes disgusting to me. I was like, what is this?
It never tastes good when you're starting, right?
And the only reason why, there was one accident one time my dad had he had like Coke and rum. I remember having it as a kid and I was like, oh, I thought it was Coke. And I was like, oh, look at Coke. And I started drinking it and it was like disgusting. I had to spit it out. And I'm like, what is this? It's disgusting. I'm like, it was Dad wanted beer. Of course, it was this liquor drink. And I was like, I couldn't stand it, but I don't know. It was just, I guess my friends, they were drinking. It was just more of a social aspect, I guess.
Yeah.
Now
it starts out social.
Yeah, it's just a social thing. Now I drink, I don't really drink that often anymore. It's like whenever I get the feel for it, like I want to drink. Like I have a Captain Morgan watermelon drink at the house. Like it's pretty good. It's like the Captain Morgan shot water. Drink that. It's pretty nice.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's not bad. The coconut was really good. I want to try. There's right now the season, since it's Halloween and fall, they have the pumpkin spice. Captain Morgan. I've been debating whether I want to try.
I might have to try that out.
Yeah, I've been debating. It's like, I gotta try that. Huh?
Mix that into a latte or something.
It's funny because I thought about that with coffee. Just I'm thinking like get like a caramel macchiato since I like caramel macchiatos. Just throw a few shots in there, just double shot, just throw that in there. How would it taste?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just either drink a beer here and there or just liquor. I like the mixed drinks, I guess, more just because it's like easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's easy.
Definitely.
I don't know if it's easier. Just more like it's a different flavor, I guess. It's like different taste. Sometimes you just drink beer after beer. You're like, all right, this is old. And I get old of things sometimes. Like, I used to drink Heineken for a while just because I like the way their kegs looked. The little keg bottles.
The little keg,
and I've always wanted the bigger kegs. And then obviously I always loved Jaeger. Had a buddy,
it's
Tony.
Good, I gotta say.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but a couple years ago, Tony wanted to get me a Jaeger machine. I guess he was trying to put
What's a Jaeger machine?
No, there's a Jaeger machine. You get 3 of those bottles and a Jaeger machine like that, and you can put them on tap.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can. Oh, that'd have been amazing to have. But luckily, I didn't have it. I mean, but I still want it. I think he said he was trying to give it to me for Christmas, but he had to put it together and he fucked it up or something.
Oh.
So he talked about it a couple months ago, like, oh, I need to bring that to you. Maybe you could fix it or something. Troubleshoot that thing. And I'm over here, I'm like, I will.
Tony finally pulls a racist. You're Mexican, right? You guys can fix anything.
Fix this, right? Yeah, leave it to the Chinese production line. It didn't last that long. But I know, pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know, dude. But yeah, when I think about getting started, it was started in high school. Buddies drinking, just social.
Yeah.
But now I probably do. I'd rather drink a mixed drink instead of beer.
Yeah.
Unless I'm at a brewery.
You're like out.
Yeah, like because if at a brewery, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I mean, you read about it, but you don't know what it's gonna taste like when it comes to you.
Yeah, they could have like the most detailed, like, oh yes, it's aged perfectly, whatever.
Yeah, all that lingo. Yeah.
I don't know what any of this means. Does it taste good?
Yeah, that's my main thing.
I know I kind of don't like IPAs, but I kind of do.
Yeah, it's like a toss-up. Like, never gonna get. You can get a good one or you can get a bad one. So, whenever I go to any kind of brewery place or has custom beers. Like, I always ask the waitress or whoever, bartender, like, what do you recommend? You're like, are you letting me choose? I'm like, yeah, because I'm not really specific, to
it's like,
drinking.
I like some stuff.
Like, I know some people like Coronas only. Some people like Bud Light. I don't know why. Or, Budweiser. The natives, they love Budweiser.
I don't think I've ever had a Budweiser.
Oh, man, it's just beer guts all day for me. It's just...
I mean, I already started with a gut, and then you add beer in here, it becomes a double gut.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I just didn't like Budweiser. I mean, I drank it for the longest time.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Just... Anyway, this is supposed to be a Nerdcast, not an alcohol cast.
Yeah.
We just kind of strayed away from a little bit there.
I mean, alcoholic cast, to answer your first question, I think I started with whiskey. It was somebody's funeral. I'm not gonna mention who, but it was a family member's funeral. We were all just sitting around drinking by the fire, and someone brings out Gentleman's Jack. Just started off with that. It was just straight out of the bottle. I want to say it's good stuff.
That's where you just fell in love with it.
I think I bought one bottle of Gentleman's Jack. After that, it was okay. Haven't touched it since.
Oh.
But this, Jameson, that stuff's pretty okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Irish whiskey.
Gallagher's, I think, is probably one of my preferred whiskeys, but I haven't seen it in a while. I'll have to check around and see if I can get it again.
Yeah.
But Nerdcast.
Back to Nerdcast.
So last episode, we were talking about video games, and if that didn't turn you off enough, this one, we're going to talk about anime.
Yeah.
So...
imagine me as schoolgirl.
I meant George. George here. Way back in the day, he told me about this anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And when he told me about it, I got so lost in what he was saying, I never even looked at it for like years and years after I kind of fell out of contact with him. Come to this last week, I'm putting it October 5th, JoJo's Part 5 comes out. They just start animating it. And, you were saying you haven't caught up with JoJo's in some time. Where did you leave off?
Oh man, I want to say if it's on part 5, I want to say like part 3 when they were in the sand area. I mean,
in, like the desert.
In the desert, they were in the desert. They were looking for
Dio.
Yeah, obviously Dio. They were looking for Dio. If you guys haven't heard of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you guys should check it out. It's pretty awesome. It's probably strange, but
part 1's the best part.
Yeah, part 1's pretty. You might get lost and like, what the hell is when you see part 1, 2, 3, and then you're like, what's going on?
People always say you can start off at any part, but I recommend starting off at part 1.
Yeah, it's always great to start off the beginning so you know your concrete base of where everything's coming from, so you're not just lost. I mean, it's kind of like playing a video game and let me start out at number 2. You don't know what happened to number 1, even though you get a little refresher. What do they call it? Like a flashback of what's going on. You still don't get all the details. So yeah, watch part 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stopped on part 3. I think maybe because I got caught up in so many different animes because there's so many out there.
Seasonal anime is like a cesspool.
Yeah, it's crazy for me because it's like I get caught up in some that are long anime, and then I get caught up with ones where like, oh, I just want to watch a short anime.
Yeah.
Like just a one seasoner, but it's got really in-depth story. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the storyline of JoJo Bizarre Adventure, but I do like it just because the whole, hey, they gonna be this one guy and then I have like a spirit fighter. Because I mean, he doesn't like fighting or magical powers and such. But I mean, you can give out a few spoilers if you want. I don't mind. I'm still gonna watch it because I enjoy JoJo Bizarre Adventures. I mean.
So part 3, spoilers, they find and kill Dio.
Oh
right?
my god. What?
Turns out the actions of Dio from part 3 continue to like cause problems for every other part up to like part 6.
Wow.
Like the enemies of part 4, they got around because Dio was fucking around. Part 5, Dio was fucking around. Now his son's out doing shit. You know, part 6, Dio's friend, he just hung out with Dio, and suddenly he wants to destroy shit, of course. And I think every part except part 2, Dio's a problem.
Yeah. So you're a big fan of JoJo Bizarre Adventure then, huh?
I gotta say, yeah, it's been a good show.
Have you played the game yet?
I played the first fighting game that was on PS3, not the All-Star Battle?
Yeah.
I haven't played that one yet.
Yeah.
Have you tried that one yet?
I haven't tried the new All-Star Battle with JoJo Bizarre Adventure, but I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I don't know. I did play the PS3 version you're talking about, just because I like that one. I do have a PlayStation 2 version, I think. PlayStation 2 or
I know
PlayStation.
there was like a Dreamcast version from. There's been several JoJo's games as far as I know, but I've only played like the PS3 one, the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been difficult to play any anime-based games because a lot of them were imported.
Yeah.
And if they did come stateside, you're like, what the hell is this language? Like, okay, where's my subtitles?
Even if they do subtitle it, it's still all in Japanese. You don't know what they're saying. I've seen those Naruto fighting games, and my friends, their names Brandon and Sam. They've played them before, and it seems like you're just running around the screen doing crazy 3D shit.
Yeah. See, what's cool about Naruto is like you said, it's around the screen because it's like you're just like these ninjas, and you're just like, oh yeah, it ain't just a straight across 2D platformer. It's like you're running around. So you actually dodge things or turn into a tree stump and disappear, which is pretty hilarious. But I played Naruto back then too. It's like I had an import version. I used to have this on my PS2. It's like a magic disc swap or something such. I remember I was looking at it. I saw it on the internet, AOL back then. But I remember seeing it. It was at the parking swap, dude. This one guy's like, he was, promoting import games, and I was like, what? A parking swap has this kind of stuff? So I bought it, and I was skeptical because I was like, dude, I'm paying like $30 for this disc. Well, it wasn't me, it was my dad.
Yeah, of course. $30, that's like what, $19.99 money, 2003 money? That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So, but sure enough, to try the swap disc, it runs its course, and then you just open the disc tray. I had to modify my disc tray on my PS2 because you remember the PS2, the skinny version? Yeah, they had the little flap. Well, mine had to modify, basically open the case and swap out the top where it had a little flap where I can just actually open it without actually opening the top. So it was kind of like a two-door access kind of situation. Okay. So I would flop that out and then put my imported game, and I had Naruto on there. And I was playing. It was just a straight-up fighting game. Now, of course, I didn't really know all the moves on the game because trying to figure out like everything was there was no subtitles, so it was just all
it's all Japanese.
Yeah, but I mean,
or as popular known on the internet, moon speak.
But I have to admit though, I do like Japanese versions, like voice actors, than instead of hearing American, because I mean, when I hear Naruto say "believe it" in the American version, I'm just like, what?
With anime, I usually go like subtitles, unless it's been like localized, and it's all been localized. Because with anime, reading subtitles, you gotta sit there and like just watch it. But like if you can at least hear some American, you can like watch it, but maybe practice guitar or like play a video game or something.
Yeah, and that's where my brother's at right now. Like he doesn't watch it, he listens to it mainly, as far as I see. Every time I go see him, like, because he watches a ton of anime or listens to it. Yeah, but I'm like,
I mean, you can look up at the screen every so often. It's like, okay, now they're going through the fighting scene. Okay.
Yeah, or you can be like me and then read all the manga for all these anime series, and then when you finally watch it, you don't even have to look at it because I got it like refreshed in my brain. I'm like, oh, this is where this is going to happen. This is what he's saying.
But it's also cool to see this stuff animated.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, and that's one thing people always tell me is like, no, I'd rather see it moving instead of page after picture after picture. And I'm like, true. But then sometimes my own imagination just goes off wild.
Yeah.
And I do like to watch one episode of any kind of subtitle anime, because then I try to like program that a few episodes, you kind of program that voice in your mind.
Yeah.
So when you're reading, it starts to play out. Like,
that's interesting. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah, it's something weird to me. Like when I was reading something but I watched a few episodes, this way I can have that mind spoken in my head. I mean, when I'm reading, I'm not reading it fast. I'm like trying to play it out in my head as I'm reading.
Yeah, like you're kind of imagining it instead of just like trying to fly through it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bump through it now.
I've seen people do that. They're just like, cool, I've done it in 12 minutes. Like, this takes me like an hour or two to like just to fully absorb it and get into it. How you get through it in 12 minutes?
Well, see, and that's my thing. Like when I read anime, I try to get, I don't know, develop with the characters. Like I'm trying to get the feel for this character.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Naruto. I mean, I've been reading that since back in high school. It's a long time I was with Naruto, and then when it finally ended a few years ago. I think it's,
Gosh, has it been that long? I want to say like 2014, 2015, but it could be even longer than that.
Yeah, I want to say 2 years ago to end it, so I want to say 2016.
2016, that sounds about right.
It might be 2016. It might have been 3 years, 2015. Who knows? I just know I was at work, and I was like, man, it's going to be a sad day. And my coworker's like, why? I'm like, today's the final chapter of this manga series. And then I've been watching it and I've been reading it. But obviously reading manga and watching anime are two different things, because the manga series is like way ahead.
Yeah.
By like at least 2-3 seasons.
Yeah, like especially back then in like 2006, 2010, around then, or even for shows like Naruto, that went up until 2015, 2017, whenever. They would have these fucking filler arcs where like, hey, the original manga was just story, but because the anime would get caught up to it and the manga was still coming out, they'd have to release episodes of just stuff with these characters doing whatever bullshit. That shit sucked.
It did. When you're like, here's this random mission, go save this girl, and you're like, there's no point to the story where they're like, what did that have any development whatsoever?
Oh, now you get to see Naruto be embarrassed by girls in bathing suits. Ooh.
By the way, who's your favorite character in Naruto?
God, it's been so long since I've read any of it. I caught up to it because I want to say like my high school crush got me into it. I want to say I read up to it. It was somewhere around Orochimaru, like he had died. Spoilers! He had died, and like his prodigy was being taken over by him. I want to say I left off somewhere around there. As for my favorite character, it has to be Rock Lee. Yeah.
Like,
I was like scrolling through all these characters, like Rock Lee.
Yeah. See, I would have to agree. I like Rock Lee too. I mean, when I had my high school ID. Half my high school ID, I rubbed it off with I didn't really rub it off, but it was kind of wearing out. But I drew Rock Lee on the back. And his pose like this. His pose, he has his hand right here.
Like, you guys should see some of his art. His art is really good.
That was when I dabbled in it back in the day. Now I don't even touch anything.
Santino, post that art that you stole and put it on the screen right here.
Oh, yeah, right. But, yeah, it was pretty dope, Rock Lee. I like Rock Lee. One, because he was... one little bit of background of Rock Lee. He was basically like Bruce Lee, in a comical sense. But like this guy, but if you're thinking about like the anime series, everybody's got powers. Everybody's got like some kind of
like magical,
ninjutsu.
Yeah.
So they have a one up, and then Rock Lee, he just has grit.
Yeah, he just trains so hard,
devotion, and he's just like, I'm giving it 100, 200% every time.
That part in the manga and the anime when he's like fighting Gaara, was it?
Yeah, when he fights Gaara for the first time.
He's like, oh man, I'm kind of losing. And what, he has to have permission to take off the stuff, or he just takes it off?
He asks, he's like, can I go full out? He's like, yeah, take off the weights. You know?
And so like he takes off these weights, and you're like, okay, these must be a little light. And he drops them, and like shakes the entire world. And like everyone in the crowd's like dead silent. And you're like,
dude, that was epic. When he dropped it, it was like...
That was like the coolest shit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, shit's about to go down. I was like... And the fight scene on that one was freaking awesome. Like, it was badass. Like, and then going throughout the whole series of Rock Lee, like, him fighting, his fight scenes are freaking awesome. And I know the spoiler alert, when he opens, he has this thing where he opens up the gates within his body. Basically, it's like limiters. You know, like these limiters, I'm about to break my body to where he's like, I'm going to break my limit to where if I use this technique of my own, you basically can be left paralyzed or whatever.
Yeah, like what was it in the manga? They explained like the reason that you don't do this is because your body can only handle so much.
Yeah, it basically is like it eats away at your own life force, like your life. Yeah. Like him just using it, like there's a consequence of using it. You hurt yourself from it, and it was pretty badass when he does get through. It's like him turning Super Saiyan, like from Dragon Ball.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like I'm about to rage on you, and he's just like, I'm whooping your ass just with fist and taijutsu. And
like, when you spent all these years and killed all these people trying to develop this mystical whatever bullshit, nah, beat your ass,
right? And it's pretty awesome. It's funny because one thing, since you're a big anime fan and everything. It's funny how I see different kinds of anime coming out and they have some similarities. Like, I feel like a lot of animes that do come out nowadays have a little similarities of what was back then.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how it is, like, over there. Like, a lot of it's self-referential, like, and just taking from old and retelling it and whatnot.
Or
but
changing
it's still
the
kind
story.
of cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, because everybody grew up on something. It's like, oh, I'm going to make my own storyline. Because when I think of, like, somebody who didn't have any powers or just with true grit, I don't know if you've seen this anime called Black Clover.
I haven't seen Black Clover. I've heard of it.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty cool anime. It's still like fairly new, I guess. Well, it's slightly new. I don't know. But
is that the one where the kid in the first like several episodes he's just yelling the whole time? Ah!
Yeah, he's always yelling. Yeah, pretty much.
Some anime YouTubers like memed on that.
Yeah, he's always yelling because he's basically he's a kid in a magical wizard. It's like a wizard world, or everybody has powers. He doesn't.
Of course.
And he's always like, oh, he's a sad kid. And obviously, he has a childhood friend, best friend that he's grew up with, and of course, he came out to be a prodigy.
Of course.
And he gets like this, it's a little spoiler alert, but it's just not too much. He just basically gets a 4-star Clover book, which is like the lucky book, like the best book. The number one wizard had that same book. So he's like a prodigy. And they're coming from like the farmland, so they have like, everybody looks down on them because they're not royalty.
Country bumpkin.
Yeah, they're country bumpkin. It's country folk. So then, he gets all the prodigy. He gets all the powers. He's good at it. And then you got this guy. He's not.
Yeah, he has nothing.
But like, eventually he does get a book, but he's not magical powered because he's always at a disadvantage. But he's always training to be the better character. Or, he has that like hero aspect. I'm just going to be a hero.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And it's funny. It's cool. It's like, it's got a lot of comedy in it. If you haven't checked it out, check out Black Clover.
Black Clover. Check it out. That reminds me of One Punch Man. He just trained really hard for 3 years, and now he can just beat the shit out of anybody with one punch.
Yeah.
To the point where he's bored of fighting.
That's it's a comical anime. Luckily, it was short. Yeah. Well, I think it's short. I don't know.
I want to say they're coming out with season 2 in 2019.
Yeah, I think they do have because I do see the manga list being updated for that one a lot.
Yeah.
So I believe it's still continuing, but it is pretty comical. Like, hey, you do 100 push-ups, do 100 sit-ups, run 100 miles, and then in 3 years you're gonna lose your hair. You're gonna be bald, but you're gonna be a superhero. That's not gonna happen. But I mean
that's what happened to me.
Yeah, he's losing his hair.
I'm working on it.
He's already on the process. He's got a year in.
Yeah, right.
He's got abs underneath that shirt right now.
Yeah, right. Try to get me to do one push-up. I'm going to fucking fall asleep on the floor.
Well, I can't even see myself doing one push-up. I can do one rollover. Like, I'll just roll over on the floor.
Ask me to do some steps. I'll be like, my stomach. I'm going to die.
Yeah, the most exercise I do is I think about it. Yeah, I just did 2 push-ups right there.
Oh, man. Think about this exercise. Oh,
I know.
I'm going to need a double quarter pounder with cheese.
A double quarter. It's funny because when you think about anime when they're eating, it's hilarious how much Goku eats in Dragon Ball.
They eat like entire like tables full of food.
Yeah. You ever see Fairy Tail?
I haven't. That's another one where I've heard it's great.
Yeah, it's just another great anime. It finished manga anyways.
Nice.
The anime series is still continuing where they're trying to catch up. Great series, by the way. Another one that's an anime that was started by a buddy of mine, Tony. Told me to watch it, and it's funny because he told me to watch it, but then
he stopped watching.
Yeah, he stopped watching it.
Maybe mid-season 1, I'm guessing.
Not even mid-season. He stopped like first 2 episodes. He's like, dude, you want to watch an anime that has dragons and such? And I was like, hell yeah, why not? And then next thing you know, I got addicted to it and I started watching it. I binge watched it, caught up season 1, 2, and whatnot. And yeah, great manga though. I finished it.
I haven't had a chance to catch up. I left off somewhere around episode 1.
Yeah, I'll ask him like, hey, did you watch Fairy Tail? Did you read about it? And he's like, no. I'm like, dude, you're the one that recommends me anime.
That sounds like Tony.
Yeah.
It's been years since I've like seen or heard or anything. That sounds like that. That sounds like Tony, yeah.
He'll see something good, but he'll recommend it to you, but doesn't even watch it. I was like, that's horrible. I'm like, no.
I mean, maybe he's just an information hub. Like he absorbs all of this like data and he's just like, hey, you might like Konosuba.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
That one, it's had 2 seasons. It's like a comedy fantasy anime. It's one of those, they call it isekai. It's these stories where someone from this world gets transferred to another world and a bunch of bullshit happens. But a lot of the earlier isekai anime, I guess they're tropey. Like, okay, they go over there and then they're suddenly magical powered and blah, blah. No, this guy, he dies in this world and he goes to another world with the goddess of water. And he's a dumbass. She's dumb as bricks. Like they're all crazy. They're all dumb, and they all just go on. They go on adventures. Kinda. His whole thing is he's trying to get out of adventuring, and he doesn't want to like kill the Demon King because the whole reason he was reincarnated in this other world is so he could defeat the Demon King general or the bad guy, right? And if he does that for this other world, he can have whatever wish he wants granted. As soon as he's over there, he's like, maybe not any of that. Maybe I'll just live my life here because whatever. And everyone's like, no, let's go do stuff.
And what's he called again?
Konosuba.
Oh, I'm wondering if did he die by like tripping over trying to save a girl?
Yeah, and it turned out like...
Okay. I think I might have seen it. I didn't remember the name of it. Yeah, because he doesn't want to do anything. Like you said, he just wants to be lazy. Like,
yeah.
Right?
And like, not just lazy, but he's like a real asshole to everyone.
That's funny. And what do they call that type of anime? Because they go in from one, they die and they resurrect another one.
It's transferred to another world or isekai.
That's what they call it, isekai?
Yeah, like some other examples would be Re:Zero something something.
I mean, I can't tell you the anime. There was a manga I was reading. Obviously, if you guys know anything about manga or anime, there's always like some female with giant boobs.
Of course.
And there's one. I guess it was in the section called ecchi, which I guess is like supposed to be like sexual but yet comedic kind of deal.
Yeah, it's like dirty. It's like what's that gentleman's magazine that's not full on porn? GQ, no. Maxim. Yeah. So there's one I was like, let's just check this out. It was on there, so I was like, oh, what is this? And I started reading it, and then I read the story. It says basically, a kid is bored out of his life, clicks on a game, and he gets brought into a different world, like an aspect of the world. And I forget what it was called because one, I never finished it because the manga app that I was reading it on, I don't know what happened to it. It crashed, so then I lost all my favorites, and I didn't remember the name of it. I just remember it was the storyline was similar to that, but this guy, it started out weird because he's bored with himself. Like he just doesn't have anything to do with his life. And maybe if you guys can find it, let me know in the comments. But like this guy is basically,
he's all looking at porn, and then this game pops up. You know, like people look at porn, pops up, shit comes up.
Of course.
And he clicks on it. He's like, "Oh, I'll play this game." And he plays the game. Next thing you know, he gets transferred into this game. And basically, here's this girl with a big breast, whatever. He goes in and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he runs her over, like, you know, and he's like naked.
Of course.
And the whole synopsis of the whole story is he's supposed to help purify the world from evil witches. And, you know, there's knights that go try to fend these witches off, and they kill them, but then the one way to turn them back is if you have the sword. And his sword happens to be his dick. So I was like, what the hell?
Are you sure this isn't hentai?
Yeah, right. But it was all censored. It was completely censored because it was just like, but no, it was an ecchi one. I mean, it was a hardcore, almost getting to hentai.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious to me because I was like, this is the stupidest anime I've ever read. Like I was reading, but it had so much comedic factor to it because it was like, he didn't want to do anything. He was just like, he just wanted to go back to his world, but he wasn't allowed to go back into his world until he slayed the head witch or the queen witch or whatever.
With his dick?
Yeah, with his dick. And then he was able to go back to the world, but he was like, I don't want to do it. And it just turned out to be like a whole nonsense thing. And then if you were, but like, I guess the way you, I don't know, dude, it was just something stupid. It was just, but it was hilarious. And I think anime, like people in Japan, whoever make anime, they have like a weird freaking sense of humor on shit. Like I've never in my life would have thought of like, hey, you know, what if we make a comic series about you go into a world where you slay witches with your dick, like and then you can turn them back into normal human with your dick. Like it's just like what? But so I couldn't help but read it. But it was funny. Yeah, it could have been hentai, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't ecchi because it wasn't like full on. Hey, like full nude or anything. It was like it's kind of
like very suggestive.
Yeah, it's very suggestive. Pretty, you know.
Yeah.
It's just it made me laugh. I was just like, it's kind of like when Naruto turned into his female sexy jutsu.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, you see almost everything, but then also.
Yeah, it leaves somewhat to the imagination. Not really, but it just. But this one definitely had like censor blocks. It's just in clouds everywhere. It was fucking hilarious though, because it was just like a stupid anime, but it was hilarious. The storyline was, anyways.
That reminds me of another isekai anime, another example, which I know you've liked in the past. No Game, No Life.
Yes.
That one, for those who don't know, it's these the brother and sister. They're like kings of games in this world. Like they
unbeatable.
Yeah, unbeatable. And the
prodigies
god of another world summons them over. Like, hey, you want to play a game? All right, you beat me in this game. Come over here, right? Something like that.
It was just that show was great, man. There's like certain worlds or territories were pieces of a chessboard.
Yeah.
And if you beat them, you got like that piece or something like that. It's like the gods had like a giant chessboard thing, but that one was short lived.
Yeah, it only had like 12, 13 really good episodes, and then nothing. I think I heard it had a movie.
It does have a movie. You can buy the movie on Amazon for $17.99 because I looked at it a couple weeks ago.
That's not bad.
Well, yeah, because I want to finish it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know why they stopped it or not.
What happened?
Well,
was a creator like a Nazi or like a pedophile or something?
No, I mean it could have had that.
Because a lot over there, sometimes that happens. Well, over here, sometimes that happens too.
I mean, you know, like in Canada, there's certain mangas you can't take with you. They consider it pedophilia. Like, you know, like, because, you know, obviously.
Yeah, the Japanese art style, like, they're a little weird with,
they're like borderline. They're like.
And any long-term anime fan that goes deeper than, like, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Naruto, they know how it gets sometimes.
Yeah, don't look up Boku no Pico, but, you know.
I've never seen it. I've heard about it. And
don't
I don't
look at it.
Don't
know. See, something like that goes in. But, anyways, go back to No Game, No Life. That one was because, like, copyright infringement, the artwork.
Really?
Yeah, they had a side-by-side piece of, you know, the sister, obviously, and they had a side-by-side piece where she had the same pose as another anime manga series. Obviously, that one had I guess nobody really knew about it. Some people did. It was like something small, so, like, nobody knew about it. So it was like...
Really?
So it was like he was copying, like, you put the pictures on top of each other. They were like exact. The only thing that was different was a little bit of the hairstyle that was changed and clothing. But then when I come to think of anime or mangas, if anybody does watch that, you can tell that some of the anime they kind of look alike.
Yeah, well, like a lot of it's like copied off each other or like inspired off each like previous works, you know.
And but yeah, I mean, they can alter it, you know, like so that's where I think that happened on that. That's where they were saying there's a little discrepancies. But I mean, if you look at anime back like in the 1990s, you can tell a lot of anime had a different like when I look at the art styles, you can tell the different art styles.
Yeah, 90s anime, like each one had a different look,
but they had that similar bases like square triangle thing and triangle chin.
Yeah,
like I guess one of the reference I would look at is like Ranma 1 and 1.5.
Ranma 1.5 is great.
Exactly. You look at that anime and then you look at Yu Yu Hakusho, and then you look at those animes back then in Rurouni Kenshin, and then you compare it to now modern day anime. There's a huge difference on the way the art style was in the face, but a lot of it had the similarities.
Yeah.
But then when you look at now, it's like everybody does have that similar aspect. So it's kind of annoying to see No Game No Life not continue because there were whole little discrepancies about that situation.
Yeah. Now to get the rest of the story, you'll probably have to keep up with the light novel or manga or whatever it originally was. Which
even the manga, there was not really very much more into it.
Damn.
Yeah. So like what you got in the series is kind of like what you got in the manga.
That sucks.
So the only thing you're gonna get from here is the movie, which is I think is just what ends it for you. But if you know Game No Life is a great anime though, like
that ending was really good because like the whole thing was leading up to like, hey, every nation has their people, their tribes, and each tribe was originally like led by a deity, and at the end you see one of those deities. The guy is just like, hey, bring out the deity, let's see it,
and then and then you're just left there with a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Hunter x Hunter. If you guys haven't watched the anime, it's another great anime.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's about a kid with a fishing pole, and I guess it's basically. The whole thing about it is you get like your hunter license and you basically become a hunter and do all sorts of stuff. It's a great adventure story. Check it out. But you're going to be left at the cliffhanger. Yes, it recently just started picking up again on the manga, but it's because the artist, you know, he goes on hiatus, back problems or medical problems, which is kind of sucks.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
It's still a great anime or manga to read or watch.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch it now.
I've heard like where the anime leaves off, it does have a complete story, even though the story was still going.
Yeah.
Like it has kind of an ending.
Yeah.
Instead of like, and then they keep doing stuff that you'll never see ever.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. It reminds me of when I can't forget the manga or animation. My wife liked to watch it. Kenichi. You ever watch that?
It sounds familiar. Refresh me.
So Kenichi is about basically a kid. He thinks he has an ideal of wanting to be a hero, or save people or be more than himself, but he's just like this nerdy little kid, gets pushed around, and
like the one where he like trains and over the series he becomes a reasonable martial artist.
Yeah, he becomes.
That one was good.
Yeah, so that one's a good one. That anime is stopped.
Yeah.
Like they stopped the anime. The manga series is completed, but the anime series never continued. So it was a bummer because my wife's like, I'm not reading it. And I couldn't help myself because I love to read manga anyways.
Yeah.
And to read the finishing up on the manga, it was actually pretty good.
Damn, I might have to go back and read it. Because I remember, I watched it at least twice on Netflix. You know, you watch it and you watch it again, but kind of not pay attention to it. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good, he was like a good disciple of several masters. And for it to not completely finish on the anime was kind of a bummer and letdown. But read the manga and then you get to the end and it was kind of cool. I'm not going to spoil the ending because I still haven't spoiled for my wife because I'm trying to force her to read it, which she kind of refuses to. She'd rather have me read it, which I don't. That's kind of weird.
How are you going to read a manga to someone though? It's like, and then he did this.
I don't know. I guess I can narrate and change my voice. I'm like, and he helped her over here. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, trying to do any feminine voice is weird.
Mm.
Because you got the guy voice too.
I have a weird voice.
You always. I mean, everyone has a weird voice, but like a guy voice, it's always like, okay, and now the girl, and then the girl, they did this. You try it.
No, it's not gonna happen.
I mean, trying to do it several different guy voices, it's okay. Because then you can kind of go deep or change up something. I don't know.
When I think of deep changing voices, like Batman.
I'm Batman.
Where's
Bane? So on.
Yeah. I wonder how many cough drops he needs after every take, because I think about my throat getting itchy after doing that so many times.
I think I figured out how to do it once. You have to do it from down here to not fuck up your throat. immediately forgot how to do it.
Yeah, I don't sing, so I don't know how to do any of that.
That was just like doing the Batman voice, which probably would help with like the death metal vocals too.
I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Besides any other anime you think of that you like?
I'm trying to think of what I've watched recently. Actually, last season there was a really good one called Planet With. It's complete. It was original series from this apparently very popular manga artist. He, from what I had heard, all of his stories were very unique, very very good stories. So that the fact that this guy not only got his own anime but an original anime for him to do whatever he wanted with, usually they just adapt a manga.
Yeah,
that was really cool, and it was a great story. It goes. Like episode 1, you don't know what's going on. Like, okay, there's this kid. He's living with this like maid and a cat, like a standing talking cat, like taller than you or I. Okay, sure. And then like he gets eaten by the cat and goes into like a weird cat mech to fight these other dudes. And but is he the bad guy at first? Maybe, maybe not. And then as it goes on, of course, he's not the bad guy. But I feel like saying too much might be spoilers, but
see, that's hard on it when you're all trying to talk about an anime and you're just like, wait, if I say something wrong with that spoiler, I've done that to my friend Alfredo where like talk about this, oh no, yeah, and then this happens, and he's like, dude, the anime only goes so far. I'm like, you just spoiled. I'm like, oh,
I'll say with the Planet With, I'll go into the first few episodes. Basically, one day on Earth, this mysterious giant alien creature, I want to say like it's a giant cat idol statue, those Japanese ones with the paws.
Yeah.
Like it's just floating over the sky. It's like all across the Earth. It's the same one, but different spots of the Earth. And then the 7 psychic warriors go to fight this cat, this giant alien creature.
Sounds kind of funny already. Going to go fight this giant cat. I'm just picturing a gold cat that goes like this all the time.
I want to say that's one of them. Like they're all very weird. I want to say one of them's like a baby doll. But they go and fight them, and then like they're leaving, returning to their base, separate ways. And that's where your main character comes in. He fights one of those heroes and steals their power because reasons, And so the main character is fighting each of these heroes after the heroes defeat another alien bad guy, and it goes from there. I really liked that one. There were a lot of good anime last season. Not great anime, but there was some watchable stuff last season.
Yeah.
There's this one weird one. It was Asobi Asobase, I want to say. It's like these 3 high school girls, middle school girls, I don't know. They're just passing time, but they're pieces of shit.
Well, they're like the Mean Girls or something?
Kind of. Like they're trying to be friends, but then like, okay. This one girl, she looks like she's American, and she's playing off like, oh, I don't know Japanese that well. And then she's like, really, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. And like, she gets this other girl to like be her like sort of minion, like, oh, I don't know what you're saying, help me out. And then she like hits her, oh, that's a thing in America, ha ha ha. And so this third girl comes over like, hey, can you help me with English? Meanwhile, the American-looking girl doesn't know a lick of English. So like they go into like trying to do like a little games to like win over on each other. Like, hey, if I beat you in this game, you teach me English, and all this nonsense. And what sold me on it was the ending theme song, actually, because they're all just being assholes in the show. And that the opening theme is actually very weird. It's like a lighthearted, like almost like turns you off to the series because like, okay, it's just these children, whatever. And then the ending thing, it's like this hard metal, like rockin'. I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, you're just gonna have to play it one day.
Yeah. I would suggest that if you like comedy, but it is a little weird.
I gotta say, I do like some anime intros. Like some of I remember back in the day, there used to be so many anime AMV, like just a bunch of anime music videos.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah,
like back in the day. I don't know.
Who was it? Like Linkin Park was a lot of them for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Linkin Park was every anime.
Yeah.
AMV, anything.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. But
I used to know this girl. She did like 100 different AMVs just to Kingdom Heart, like the video cutscenes, but different songs.
Huh. That's got to be pretty dope. I can imagine.
it seems like a lot of work. Like just doing video for this is a lot of work for me, but this isn't even nothing.
Yeah. But
cutting all the different scenes. Yeah.
You watch any sports anime or anything?
I watched one last season actually. Another last season, the summer season. Hanebado, I want to say it's called. It's about badminton. Yeah, it was really good. The sports scenes were well choreographed. It's about a badminton club, but of course, you have your protagonist 1, protagonist 2, the rival. 1 has all hard work across her whole life. I think it's mostly focused on the girls' team, but there was like 2 guys in the boys' team. So there's a 1, she's been hardworking her whole life. And here comes this prodigy, just, doesn't even care, whoops her ass. And so it goes kind of back and forth. Yeah, right. But that one, it had really good animation. Some friends I work with, or a friend I work with, and then some of his friends really like that anime. And I can recommend that one. Yeah. But that's the only sports anime I've watched, unless you count Keijo. Keijo was weird. But Keijo, the only reason I got through Keijo, it's an anime where these girls fight each other by hitting each other with their butts or boobs. Interesting. The only reason I could get through the anime, and like on its own, it's not bad. In the way a friend said it, it's not actually perverted. Like everything perverted comes from outside of the world of the anime. In world, they're just girls doing a sport. But that show is great to watch with friends as you get drunk and laugh at the nonsense. Like, okay, this girl, she like grabs the other girl with her boob and slams her down or some bullshit. Or this other girl. I might have to check this one out because this sounds interesting, perverted all at the same time. And ridiculous. Yeah, it's plain out ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. This one girl, her ass is possessed, so she just kind of bends over and like destroys everyone with her demon butt. So her ass has powers. Yeah, like as the series goes on, it just gets more and more ridiculous. But it's funny. And you hear all this shit, and they do all this nonsense. They have hypnotizing powers, don't they? What's that? They have hypnotizing powers. I want to say one might. I want to say they do, since they got your ass to watch, and they're getting my ass to go want to read this and watch it. I don't know if there's there might be a manga or something of it, but those are the 2 sports anime I've watched. I've seen a little bit of Slam Dunk though. I used to watch Slam Dunk. Back, that one's like an older anime, but I liked the way it was. I mean, you got that one guy, he was tall and he thought he'd be good at everything, and he just sucked. But it was a pretty good anime. I like that one. But I never finished it. But yeah, it's definitely. I never finished that one either. Yeah, it was good for what I saw. Yeah, I feel like some animes they drag when they should already especially some of the older ones. Yeah, it's like, okay, you should have finished already. I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about One Piece. But One Piece, I feel like it's been going on for a while, and One Piece has gone on for a generation or two. I've tried 2 times to get into One Piece because there was an old coworker I used to work with. I want to name her name Tammy. Yeah. She was all about it, and I remember she was trying to get me to watch it. She tried to get everybody to watch it, and I got up to maybe episode 100, and it feels like I spent a ridiculous amount of time just getting that far, and finally I was like, I'm only not even at that time a sixth of the way in. Yeah, now it's 1,000-some-hundred episodes. Man. Yeah, and the manga is just crazy long, and I tried getting into it. I have one. My niece, she got me a Christmas present. It was the manga. Yeah, it's book 1, 2, and 3 of it. I just couldn't get into it, man. I like the aspect of pirates. The thing to me is the show is really good. The manga is really good. I could see why it's popular. It stays fresh, but at the same time, 1,000 episodes. It's like the seasons of Friends, man. It's still going, or it was going. It's completed, but I felt like I was gonna say. I don't know. I just felt like Friends was the long ass series. I'm like, what was it? 7 seasons or that's and I'm just looking at what else can you do about Friends? And that's obviously not anime, but I'm just saying. But yeah. What's this? But certain animes, no, I'm kidding. I mean, I guess that's how some people probably think about Dragon Ball. Go from Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball GT, which I guess is not canon, but now it's Dragon Ball Super,
And then obviously we're getting that great movie coming up in December, the Broly movie with Dragon Ball, which is I'm really excited for. Hopefully they're gonna go more in depth with the Broly because he was a pretty badass character as far as besides, hey, he's like a legendary Saiyan, but now he's like big ass swole ass guy, but now he just looked completely different. So I don't know how that goes. I don't know if you're into Dragon Ball.
I haven't seen much of it. Like everything I've seen is great,
Yeah.
but like it was one of those ones where like when I was growing up, I'm sure for you were able to watch it all the time. Me, I didn't have cable, so I saw it when I went to other people's house.
Oh no, man! The only time I got to watch it was, we did have cable. We did get to watch it once in a while on Toonami.
Yeah.
But my main thing was like, because I went to like the junior high, we had computers. There was only like probably like 12 computers in this junior high school at the time. So it was like we'd be waiting, and a bunch of us nerds would be like, "Oh, there's a computer. Let's get on it and try and look it up without it being blocked." And we'd all try to watch Dragon Ball at the time, just trying to get to it without it being kicked off,
Of course.
So, but that's how I don't think, like, I own the whole entire Dragon Ball manga series.
Nice.
Like, I own every single book out there for that. I still need to collect the Dragon Ball Z series, but as we all know, Dragon Ball Z series is huge. Nothing compared to One Piece, but the Z series is pretty long, and it gets pretty pricey. But, dude, the manga is pretty dope. Yeah, I grew up on Dragon Ball, so.
Physical, like, trying to collect physical medium and many things, like, but then it does cost a lot of money. It takes up so much space, and
like the manga. The one cool thing about the manga set that I got is you put it there together. If you get all of them the same booker, they create an image on the spine.
I like the manga that do that. I had one forever ago, but
yeah. And then I'm trying to do that with the Z series, but like I want to try to get them all at once.
Yeah, and that's gonna be like at least $200.
Oh, definitely. It was about $200. It was, I want to say like $230, and that's if I'm lucky and go to Barnes and Nobles when they get that deal is like buy two get one free kind of deal.
Yeah,
that's what I try to eyeball for.
Oh, I thought you were trying to get like one of those like sets. Like
no, I try to buy the sets. Those sets are expensive. You're talking about like it has a carrying case on it. They do have a set of Dragon Ball Z like that. So when you take it off.
It's all right there, nice and pretty.
Yeah, nice and pretty.
I almost got one for, I forgot what it's called. It's a manga about making manga. It was really, really good. There's a set that's about that large, 15-ish, 20 volumes, I want to say.
Yeah.
$200 at least.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's more now because, it's been years, rarity and so on.
Yeah, everything anime related. Well, it's kind of weird when you talk about rarity. Because I'm a big fan of collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Anime's collecting is like a hit or miss, man. There's not like a lot of people that like it or they do like it. And if they do like it, they have a bunch of fake stuff out there.
Yeah, there's
a lot of fake stuff for a lot of things, but like anime is like a big one.
Yeah.
Like as far as like statues, you want to get a Band Presto, but you want to get the brand name Brand Presto, but then if you order from China, then it's not going to be a Brand Presto. It's going to be a ripoff. So you're just like, because the difference. I see like a Brand Presto statue of like Goku, and I'm like, oh, $120. Then you see one over here, it's like $30. You're like, why?
Fake.
Yeah, you're like fake. That's the first thing, red flags. And then Amazon, you can buy stuff on there and it'll be fake.
Yeah, so, Amazon. Not that eBay has quality control either, but Amazon quality control is not good.
Yeah, they're not. They're like, just buy it. Oh, it does not. You can just return it, and then you're just like. Just wasting money.
Yeah.
Or when you order stuff overseas, it takes like 3 weeks, 4 weeks anyways to get to you. And then by the time you get it, you're like, what is this crap? But
sometimes it takes months and months because it comes in a weird like black package that feels like there's like a dead person's dust on it and
it's just been sitting there.
Yeah.
Anyways, one anime we haven't touched on, and it's probably one of my favorites, is My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia, saving the best for last.
Right? And what do you think about that anime?
The anime is great. Oh, they just cut up. Spoilers in the anime. They just got up to I want to say the second Bakugo and Deku fight.
Oh yeah.
Deku's he just started developing his shoot style, and Bakugo he's like, hey, you're All Might's prodigy. Like that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
And they fight, and they're just barely learning about they're going to be doing special training with heroes. They met the simple faced guy, blonde hair, who like phases through stuff. And I'm explaining this to say to George where the anime left off because you haven't caught up with the anime, but you're caught up completely with the manga.
Yeah, so the manga I am surpassed. But I do know who you're talking about. The guy that can slip through things, and man, you're gonna be in for a treat when you read the manga, or once the anime series catches up.
I'm gonna have to start reading the manga,
dude. I couldn't hold off. I had to read it. I'm like, My Hero Academia is that good. It's just one of those.
It is so good, and trying to convince my friends who are like, oh, I've seen it before, Naruto and Bleach, or watching an ongoing series that isn't done, like. Just watch it. It's great. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Look, I even got a wallet.
I don't have anything to show off.
A wallet. That's how good it is. I like it so much. I used to have a sticker on my phone case, on my other phone case. I had All Might.
That's cool.
Which is, the symbol of peace.
Yeah, the symbol of heroism, the symbol of justice.
Yeah. He's always got a smile on his face, even at the face of danger.
He's... I don't know if it translates to the manga the same, but in the anime, it's always, I am here.
Yeah.
And when he's there, everything's fine.
Ultra, man. Ultra.
They had the fight between him, One for All and All for One, in the anime. That went over, I want to say, 2 episodes. And
was it epic? It was epic.
Oh, it was epic. Oh, good Lord, it was epic. It was beautiful.
You're going to get into it even more awesome stuff coming out later in the.
I'm sure.
You have to read it this way. Here's my viewpoint. Like I said, I have to read it because once you watch the anime, you get that voice that's stuck in your head, and then you read it, and then just let it play out in your head. Like once you get enveloped in any kind of manga series or even comic book series, anything.
Oh yeah.
Once you start reading it, you get.
That's why I stopped trying to read comics because I was trying to reduce monthly costs.
Right. Comics are expensive. That's another story. But
we'll do that for the next Nerdcast.
Right. So when I started getting enveloped with My Hero Academia, I was getting in depth with it. Like I was actually watching. It was playing out in my head, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was freaking out. I was like, "Dude, this is about to happen." And then just like the anime series, you get to that one point and they stop it, and you're just like, "And I gotta wait till next week for the next chapter." And I'm like, "Really?" So I hate when I'm caught up. But I love when I'm caught up because it's like, all right, now I can go watch the anime series, and I don't have to look at the subtitles because I got it fresh in my brain of everything
that does kind of suck about subtitles. You have to down here.
Yeah. Well, because like you're saying, there's one times once you, especially fight scenes.
Yeah.
You see the fight scenes, you know what's being said, then you watch the fight scene. Yeah, you know what's going to happen, but to see it actually happen, and it's pretty awesome. That's the difference between manga and anime. But I do like the art styles in the manga just because it has little details more than it does with anime. Anime kind of it kind of I want to say they blend it in, so they kind of lose out on the key, but you get the color aspect. Okay. So there's shading in there, but there's cross hatching and such techniques used in the manga series.
Yeah.
So
what I heard from the from other fans who read the manga and then watched the All Might versus One for All, All for One. It translates very well for that fight. The animation studio did crazy well on that fight.
Yeah,
animating it.
So if I suggest read it, then watch it. If not, watch it, then read it, or whichever.
Definitely, if you do watch it, now's a good time to catch up on reading it once you've watched it or whichever, because they are on the break right now. But season 4 was just confirmed. I want to say a week ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it will be coming out.
And unfortunately, we're late in the game to tell you that the movie came out recently. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch it. I've heard it's great.
Yeah, it was at the Harkins Theater.
Damn.
That was for the week only. So
I'm going to have to wait till it comes out on DVD or something. Or
yeah, it was definitely...
DVD.
I heard it at DVD. He's still stuck on DVD. What?
I've got these DVDs just collecting dust on my shelf.
You still got a VHS player. Bet you don't. You got that dual going on.
I have 3 VHSs of Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. I haven't had a VHS player in years.
But anyway, get on the Blu-ray guy. So
I'm off the Blu-ray. It's all about digital or illegal means. I don't do that.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely the movie's out it was out on the theaters. If you find somewhere they're showing it, go watch it.
Yeah, I'll probably get on Prime or whatever.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it on. But until the only one I'm really excited because the movie theater tickets cost so much money. Because last time I went to a movie to watch an anime movie was Naruto's, and it was at the Harkins in Tempe.
Did they charge more?
They did. They charged a premium, dude.
Fuckers.
And that's why I was like, I don't know if I want to go because Harkins did charge me. They charged me $20 a ticket. And
That's fucked up. I want to say
that's straight robbery because they know they can take advantage of.
Yeah, anime fans they'll pay.
Yeah, because they're like, where are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, right.
Here, where you want to watch that anime? And I felt bad. Like my buddies felt bad for me because one, I took my wife with me, I took my brother and my best friend, and we were like, let's go watch this, dude. I'm like, I love Naruto, and they're like, all right. And my wife, she loves that I love my anime. She won't watch it, but she went with me to go watch this. And I'm not gonna lie, that last movie Naruto made was kind of a little disappointment for me because I was like, I didn't really like it. Like it wasn't. I don't know. I was just a little let down. So I was a little skeptical about that My Hero Academia movie, but I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about it.
Yeah, so I've heard good things. It was like one of those like, damn, I missed out. But I mean, I guess me being a fan, I should have went. But we know, money's tight nowadays.
Yeah,
you gotta watch what you spend. And when I think about movies, you spend like $20 on a ticket, or even $12 a ticket. You're like, I could have bought the movie.
Yeah, right.
Of
course, they're charging on like the physical copy. They're charging more on physical copies as well. Your Name? Did you see that?
No, but I heard about that one.
Yeah, it was.
That one got really good, really good reviews.
Had really great reviews. People were comparing it to I'm blanking on the name. Studio Ghibli guy, Miyazaki. Yeah. They were playing it to Miyazaki level quality.
Oh wow.
And I want to say when the physical copy came out, it cost my friends like $40-$50 for the Blu-ray.
Damn, I feel bad for them because you can pick it up at Walmart for $20.
I could be misremembering, but
yeah, I was gonna say it
could have been the special edition.
I think it might be $19.99. Well, see, Walmart's weird because
Walmart's very weird with anime.
Yeah, because they get movies and they can charge you $20. You go to Best Buy and it's like $30 or $35.
Yeah.
But Best Buy will get it first.
Yeah.
Just because they get it first, I guess, or I don't know.
Walmart stock is kind of random. Like, they have Dragon Ball Season 4 here. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, you can get the whole series of Dragon Ball GT for $20. But GT was a short series.
GT?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, if you want to watch...
It's like seeing Goku do extra stuff, but it's also not canon or whatever.
Yeah, which is very disappointing because, Super Saiyan 4 was pretty dope. But anyways, so you watched Your Name though, right? So it's a good movie.
It was very good.
All right, guys.
It was like a romantic whatever, but it was good. The animation was good. Figuring out what the hell is going on was cool. It starts out as a body swapping story, like the random guy from over here, random girl from over here, swap bodies. They don't know what's going on at first, but then they start communicating to each other, and the people around them are like, "Hey, what's going on?" The girl ends up getting the guy a date with his crush, other nonsense. The guy fills up the girl's body every time he's in the girl's body.
Who wouldn't do that, right?
He's like, "Oh, what are these? Ooh." And then like the little sister comes in like, "Big sister, what are you doing? Huh?"
I gotta watch that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's pretty good.
All right.
They'll make you cry maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. We all got that soft spot. Depends on how deep the story is. How well you get involved with the story.
Yeah.
So
it was definitely a good one. Other animated movies from that, Studio Movie Grill up in Scottsdale. Have you been there?
No, I have not.
They've had a couple of Miyazaki showings in the past year or two. I saw Princess Mononoke and
one of my
Spirited Away
favorites.
up there.
Both of those.
Yeah, they were both showing there. I went there with friends. They were cool. I want to say Princess Mononoke was funny because it opened with this weird music video scene, and my two friends, Brandon and Santino, they were like kind of talking. They were like, "What is this? What the hell?" Lady next to me, kind of, "Oh, what's up? Are they going to talk to the whole movie? Because this is my first time seeing it." "I don't know. I'm not them. Why don't you go ask them, you fucking bat."
That's weird.
She shut up after I said that. I didn't call her bitch, but I was like, I don't know. I'm not them. Come on.
Why don't you go ask the guy talking?
Yeah.
But Princess Mononoke, though, I mean, I would be upset a little bit, but I would prefer to ask the people talking. Yeah. But Princess
as soon as the music video was over, we shut up because it's a great movie.
Yeah. Princess Mononoke, man. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites. I was disappointed one time because I bought the DVD quality, and then like 2 weeks after they came out the Blu-ray, and I was like, I just spent $25 on this one. I'm like,
charge $30 or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I really want to get that Princess Mononoke on Blu-ray. I still have yet to get it, but I mean, eventually I will because they did have there was a collector set getting all the Studio Ghibli movies, and I think it was like $150, and that's
I had a friend who had that. Actually, two friends who have that now. I think that's like you said, about $150 or so.
It's pretty awesome. Big old case like that with all of this Studio Ghibli set.
Okay, maybe it was a different older one because it was smaller, like had less of them.
Oh no, this is like a big old case. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one of my like Totoro. I mean, I don't know.
Totoro. I haven't seen that one yet. I've heard that. Tammy again. She was really into that one.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's just
apparently, there's like some deep secret lore about it. Like it might relate to a child's death in Japan or something. Yeah.
It's interesting. So check it out. My Neighbor Totoro.
I want to say a new Miyazaki film just came out on Netflix. Alan, my roommate, was talking about it. It's like, it's a new Miyazaki. It's great. Haven't heard it. I look it up, but I have both my phones. That phone's recording. This phone's on airplane mode, so
We're gonna get it down. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let you know. But,
so we about wrapping it up now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up. This was a good hour or so nerding out on anime.
Yeah, gotta love anime. If you guys have any anime inputs that what you would watch, check us out.
Let us
know.
Yeah. We don't exactly have a demographic, but I wonder how much of our demographic really does watch anime. I know there's you and me. We watch anime.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Thank you for... Thanks for coming out. Listening to us. Coming out, God. Thanks for listening to us nerd out. Catch you next time. Same